And here we are, continuing on with, after being Scromily on, we're gonna see where this takes us next. In light of our recent experiences, I suspect we all have questions. I trust Zero can answer some few of them. It should still be elude at least that much, I dare say. Nara, you've come to the 13th before, yes? You fought Voidsent here. But clearly you didn't know they could regenerate, else you would have shared that detail beforehand. I was in a bit of a rush and didn't have time to wait around and see. From what I know of your foray, I can hardly blame you. Perhaps they returned after you left, but if they didn't, there must be a reason why. There are circumstances in which we'd be unable to return. If you like, I can tell you about this. Please do. The more you devour, the more powerful you grow, but in the process, your essence is blended with those of your prey. If you were to lose your flesh, the souls you would become the harbor may break free and coalesce into distinct Voidsent once more. Before you return, your own soul might be devoured by your enemies on your Earth's royal prey. A fate more likely for stronger beings who require more time to regenerate. However, even assuming you survived the process, it's highly uncommon to return as you were. Yet despite his greater strength, Syaoranvee managed to resurrect rather swiftly. Are there others capable of the same? Not that I'm aware of, his attachment to his flesh must have been unique for him to develop such an ability. I believe we understand the fundamentals of rebirth now. If I may, I would ask you about your power. Will you tell us about it? What you saw should speak for itself. I can bind the ether of a soul and crystal. Many wielded this power during the Contra Memora, but I'm the only one left. I'm told that heroes of the 13th once sealed gods in stones called Orosite. Are they and Memorial one and the same? Orosite, I do not know this word, but this world is vast. Perhaps Memoria had different names elsewhere, but it does sound quite similar. How does one come to wield Memoria, and what happened to your peers? I never thought about that, and I do know that the Voidsent can't use the power. I assume I can because I'm mortal in part. I see. Zero, I wish to ask you about the man called Golbez. He may well have my sister in his clutches. Is there aught you can tell us of him? The name sounds vaguely familiar, though I can't say how I know it. If he is powerful, however, someone in the castle may have heard of him. We must try talking to the other Voidsent again. Let's entrust the task to Nara, and her echo will help facilitate communication. More importantly, she should be able to maintain her composure better than a concerned sibling. That I cannot deny. Forgive me, but will you not ask about Golbez in my stead? On the terraces to begin with, perhaps. Thank you. We should remain here and discuss what other avenues we might pursue in the meantime. Alright, guess we're heading back up then. Yeah, you can barely sit in this. That's pretty neat. So the clever one hasn't been eaten. If no one wants it, then perhaps... Golbez, of course I know of him, only a fool without ears wouldn't. His archfiend lead armies to ravage and conquer. They devour those that deem useless, those who can't fight. If you don't want to be eaten, then you had better flee, and soon there will be nowhere to run. Seems the archfiends keep only those who are fit for battle, others must escape or be consumed. If the one who devoured her dies, perhaps the mistress will return, and I may bask in her gaze again. Golbez, you say? My mistress spoke of him. He commands the archfiends. They are very powerful and have conquered many domains. Mistress bade us defend the castle from them. Yes, yes, she did. Seems the Archfiends have been attacking other domains. Their feasting reputation precedes them. The tasty one returns to tempt me. I mustn't eat you. I mustn't eat you. Golbez, I know of him from those I've eaten. He has minions, and those minions have minions. No one ever sees him. With his armies of minions, Golbez would seldom have need to act personally. It would not be easy to reach him. Alright, well they actually had quite a bit of information for once. Welcome back, Narn. We're able to learn odd value. So countless voids then answer to the Archfiends, who in turn answer the Golbez, as your vision did suggest. Scarleon's aggression is also consistent with the claims that the Archfiends conquer other domains. The question is, how do we reach Golbez if he surrounds himself with armies of minions? We could target his other Archfiends, or perhaps those who fled his service. Either may yield useful information. That said, we can't do much while we're stuck on this isle. Zero, I'd ask a favor of you. I'm determined to save my sister Asdala. If there's even a faint possibility that Golbez has her, then I must find him. To that end, I want you to lend us your strength and knowledge. Will you accompany us on our quest? Forgotten the way of my world already. If you want help, offer payment. None here will aid you out of the kindness of their hearts. Any who claim otherwise are liars and betrayers. Or is this less a request and more of a threat? If I refuse, will you force me to serve? Surely you must desire something. Name it. I have no purpose. Why would I desire anything? That's why I didn't bother to resist when the ones here fell upon me. What matters in a world that's already dead? By that logic, you have no reason to refuse a request. The payment need but be to your satisfaction, correct? Did I not already say as much from the start? Very well, Zero. I propose you travel with us, and whenever you perform a deed that requires payment, we will provide it in either. That's all you had to say. Everything else was super flourish. Fair point. Where to now? Either a place the Archmaids may strike next, or where refugees and deserters may seek sanctuary. I know the latter. I'll take you there. I assume you also know how we can get off this isle. I was brought in here on a mount, and we can leave the same way. Now that you mention it, I did notice some flying creatures near the terrace. Given our numbers, we'll need a large one, but regardless of size, all can be won over with either. Excellent, let us go and find our mount at once. Not good. Lord Golbez must hear of this. Actually, a really nice throne room with all the statues and everything. We should be able to find a mount here. With the castle in disarray, the creatures will be hungry. Just a little ether should suffice. Are you ready? Yeah, let's go ahead and do it.
There it is. Good. It agrees to serve. Get on.
What is this place?
My domain. In the beginning, it was a sanctuary for me alone. But over time, others began to gather here. Those who had nowhere else to go.
A settlement of pariahs?
Mortals! They're mortals! What did they see here?
You are under my protection here and will not be harmed. I give you my word. Follow me.
This is my abode. The others won't come near us, so you may be at ease. Well, they know their place. If tantalizing ether were to walk by, I can't guarantee they wouldn't pounce. It is a voiceless nature to consume, their sole purpose. Even if the pursuit of ether may lead to their undoing, many succumb to instinct. But any who succumb here will have to answer to me. This is my domain's one and only rule, and it is absolute. Consider yourselves duly warned. If you wish to go among the void sent here, that is your choice to make. All have fled from one master or another, but whether any of those masters in turn serve Golbez, I do not know. You must ask them yourselves. Most have traveled to your world, so it shouldn't be difficult to communicate. We shall go about making inquiries at once. Thank you for your counsel. Once we've learned all we can, let us reconvene at yonder plaza. You're going too, of course, in which case I shall accompany you. I wish only to observe. Do not expect me to help. That's settled. I'm ready when you are. Ready then, lead the way. I'll leave it to you to decide with whom to speak. Alright. Well, looks like we have a thing in here. I call this my abode, but spend hardly any time here. I return only for medication. While physical wounds can be healed by replenishing one's ether, you can't presume your form if you lose sight of yourself. Such is the risk inherent in consuming another soul. It dilutes your sense of health, alters you inside and out. Guard against this, I meditate. Visualize who I am in a place all my own. Here it is, okay. To walk around with her like that, you're her minion then. You know I don't take minions. She has some questions. I want you to answer them. Golbez, I don't know that one. Only Scott Hatch. When she led beyond the veil, I grew scared and fled. I've been here since. I don't know anyone else, nor do I wish to. That's all I can tell you. Scott Hatch was a powerful void scent who ruled over a vast domain. That was a long time ago, though, so I doubt she has any connection to Golbez. This is the heart of my domain. Normally it's deserted, but you and yours have drawn everyone out. I don't recall the statue, though. However it came to be here, I certainly didn't wish for it. Whose likeness is this, you ask? The hero who will save the world. I'm waiting for the one he comes. Or was it a she? I can't remember the details. I don't know how long I've been waiting, or even why I wait. Could you be the hero, perhaps? No, I don't think so. Something tells me I know when I'll meet him or her. I'll just have to keep waiting. Okay. Anything else around here by any chance? Doesn't look like it. Maybe up there? Let's go check up there real quick. We know very little about Zero, so I figured I'd try and get any of the info bits I can. Well, that's an interesting, If a void sin is too weak to create its own domain, it must join with others for protection. Alternatively, it might devour them in a bid to become stronger, but in doing so risks losing its sense of self. It's an unenviable struggle. Stay away from me. If you don't want to be eaten, stay away. Golbez, I've heard the name before. Ah, I remember, I always speak of a great crusade. I don't know what that is, but it sounds delicious. A crusade, you say? From whom did you hear this? Farfellow. He was a minion of another minion. Went on and on about the terrible things he saw. I see, perhaps Farfellow could tell us more. You're one of the mortals, is it true? When you die over there, you really die? So it is, so it is. What brings you here, then? Ah yes, Golbez. He seeks strong minions to grow his army, so I hear. But recently he stopped doing that, instead he devours all. Perhaps he's gathered enough follower now is intent on bolstering his own strength. Sure sign that he's about to make a move. Satisfied with what you've learned? Ah, but let's step away before you become too tempting to resist. It seems the rumors of Golbez reach even my remote domain. Fair to assume he's gathering strength for his crusade, wherever that may be. But I must say, I wouldn't have guessed that Farfellow once fought in Golbez's army. It's a miracle he survived serving an archfiend. I suppose I should explain. Farfellow is the weakest among us, constantly in fear of being devoured. He seldom consorts with others. The only one he's comfortable with is Soraccio. He's a fellow coward who runs the instant he senses a threat, and won't stop until he's exhausted. When their hunger grows too intense, they feed on each other's ether, such is their relationship. By ramble, you intend to seek out Farfellow, then, I presume. Then I'll come with you. He's less likely to hide that way.
Not only did the mortals conquer Troya, they defeated Scarmalione. I struggle to believe it. They're very small, my lords. They were aided by one of our world, who transformed Scarmalione's soul into crystal. Crystal. This one speaks of Memoria. Now there's something I've not heard for an age. It'll bring a pang of nostalgia to my breast and a tear to my heart. The very notion was an absurd! Drowned in darkness. As well were you.
And yet Scarmalione still does not answer. Were he alive, he would have returned by now. Weakest though he was, his ability to regenerate was without peer. If this account is true, if a Memoriat has survived, they cannot be suffered to live.
Leave this matter to me, Lord Galvez. I, Barbaricia, shall strike down any who pose a threat to our plans.
'Tis true, you are a proven commander, well suited to leading an assault.
And when I have succeeded, I would beg a boon of you.
What do you desire?
The dragon's ether. All that remains.
The insolence. No place.
With respect, my locks are free as the wind, without incentive to sway them. I know not whither they will blow.
Boldly spoken. I trust you will not disappoint me.
Upon this flowing hair and my immortal soul, I will not fail.
Then go and impress upon these interlopers the futility of defiance.
My lord.
Alright. Farfellow keeps the fringes of my domain this way. The voids in here don't answer to a master, they can do as they please. But all must answer to the hunger and seek out prey when they need ether. Except Farfellow and Soraccio, and that is, they are content to take from one another. Barring an incident, they dare not venture out. When he takes flight, Soraccio will not seek shelter until he's utterly spent. Farfellow, on the other hand, prefers to hide in the same place. Come. Oh, we found somebody. Oh, whatever will I do now? Syaoranvee, this is rather unexpected. Where is Farfellow? Forfella isn't here anymore. He's left. Yes, that's right. Left? That doesn't sound like him at all. Well, he's gone, alright. What more do you want me to say? Oh, there he runs. And off he flees as he's wont to do. But something about this doesn't sit well with me. What do you make of Sarcho's behavior? I don't think he was telling the truth. So you think so, too. As he says, Forfella is gone, but that's quite unusual. As is the fact that Syaoranvee, who was clearly frightened by something, chose not to flee but instead hid here, where Forfella usually... No. We must go after Syaoranvee now. I don't know, did Syaoranvee eat Forfella? Syaoranvee, we need to talk. There's no time, the wind rises, we must flee. The wind rises? What is he talking about? After him. Wait, where did he go? Oh, okay. Go around the building, I guess. Oh, no, I don't think I can go in here. Oh, I thought this was a dead end before. I guess there is a bit more here. What's gotten into you? What do you mean the wind rises? When the wind rises, she comes. Barbosia. Barbosia? Who is that? Who in the world is that? We must flee, all of us. There's no time. I don't sense anything, but he seems convinced. It's a dead end beyond. We'll corner him. We're doomed. There's nowhere to run. Where are you running from? I already told you, Barbosia, the Archfiend of Wind. Archfiend, you say? We'll be devoured or forced to serve, to fight in the crusade, but it makes no difference. In the end, all are eaten by her or her enemies. I didn't want to fight anymore, that's why I fled and came here. I see, that explains everything, almost. I thought it was Forfella who used to serve an Archfiend, not you. Not you, who always ran at the first sign of trouble. You who now speak as though you were Barbosia's minion. There's only one explanation. He devoured Forfella, didn't he? Indeed, that would account for his uncharacteristic behavior. So is that the way of it? Did you devour Forfella? It's just not a portion of his ether, but his entire being. How did you know? It wasn't only behavior that felt strange. You felt strange, as if there was more than you present. Now, I don't believe you've lost control. More likely it was at Forfella's behest. I can't hide anything from you. I admit it, Forfella didn't leave, I ate him. He feared Barbosia more than anything, hated the endless fighting. So he begged me to devour him, that he would never have to fight again. Rather than an eternity of fighting, he chose a moment of pain. For all the good it did, I can still hear his voice in my head. He's frightened, so very frightened. When you're eaten, your essence is blended with that of your devourer, and though you have no control, your consciousness in part endures. Were this a world where the wheel of life and death still turn, the soul wouldn't linger so stubbornly. In time, it would return to the great flow. But there's no such end here, no escape. All know this, and making his choice, Rafello must have been desperate indeed. And now that desperation is joined with Syaoranvee's fear, driving him to act erratically. This place will become a battlefield. We don't want to be eaten. Neither me nor Rafello, but there's nowhere to go. Nowhere. Then tell me about Borussia. I would know who he is we will face. It's too late. She is as good as here, and no one can escape her winds. No one.
Mauricio! She is come!
And she's brought her domain with her. The Archfiend's after you and yours, I shouldn't doubt. Perhaps you should go and find them. But be warned, whatever this is about, do not expect us to get involved.
I can't manage eating and being eaten. I only want to be left in peace.
You and me both.
One of the Archfiends approaches.
They must have been tracking our movements.
She's here.
Excellent. You've saved me the trouble of traveling to Troya.
So you're Barbaricia.
Mind your manners, mortal. My name is not to be spoken, save in reverence and fear. What is this pitiful domain? Pitiful wretches all. I will put you out of your misery. Alas, poor Scarmiglione, and good riddance. Felled by outsiders in pursuit of what? Pray tell?
A dragon. One who crossed to this world thousands of years ago. Know you aught of it?
A dragon, you say? Huh. My Lord Golbez is more clever than I realized. To let the prize live, that it might lure more prey to us. Very well. In gratitude and service, I shall devour every last mote of their souls.
Where is she? Where is Ashdaya?
Huh. You even share its scent. How curious. And irresistible.
If you think us easy prey, you're wrong.
Unlike Scarmiglione, I need not skulk in shadow to claim what is mine. If you would know about the dragon you seek, then enter into my domain. You may flee instead if you wish, if the fate of the sorry lot here is of no concern to you. One way or another, I will have satisfaction.
What's the plan then?
Indeed. Yet she will have the upper hand in her domain. We must be no less than fully prepared.
We find her and get our answers. Will you be joining us, Zero?
You may be easily goaded into accepting her challenge, but my curiosity is not so insatiable as to cloud my judgment. Nevertheless, if you are desperate for my aid, you know my price.
I shall pay it. So long as you leave me strength enough to see my sister home, you may take as much as you wish. And lest you forget, mine is no ordinary ether. Barbariccia too recognized its potency.
Very well. We have a bargain.
I am back. I had my internet disconnect during the cutscene, so I had to redo it over again. Alright. Less time we have to give the enemy to prepare, the better. If everyone's ready, then let us set forth. Indeed, and yet my heart weighs heavy for those Proboscia struck down. Were it not for us, she would never have come here. Should you require a moment, Zero? For what? Proboscia took what she could. She was wise to strike quickly, as we would be. Agreed, there's no time for sentiment. Only the battle matters now. I don't know. Word of warning, Proboscia spoke as if she would give us answers if we defeat her. But even assuming she'll talk, which I doubt, I trust I need to tell you how foolish it is to give an Archfiend a second chance. Best to seal her away at the earliest opportunity. If you wish to peer into her past, the memorial will suffice. I'll try, but I make no guarantees. You do that, and if you fail, well, you'll just have to search elsewhere for answers. Rest assured, this will not be our last opportunity to learn about Ashdala. If another Archfiend were to fall, Gomez will surely be compelled to respond. We only need to wait for our query to come to us. Indeed, if our struggles with Skalmion taught us aught, it is that we must hold nothing back when facing an Archfiend. Let's heed Zero's advice and seal our way at the earliest opportunity. If we're in agreement, then let us be off. We travel by Nizrock. Sure, we'll go ahead and head there.
You're not the only ones who can ride the wind.
Leave these ones to us.
I siege of Barbariccia.
Looks like this is our trial. That's a nice remaster of the Archfiend's theme for Final Fantasy IV. In any case, next time we will go ahead and trial against Barbrosia.